Ahora vamos a escuchar a un verdadero especialista en el tema que viene a continuación, sobre las famosas bitcoins, de las cuales todos hemos escuchado, pero quizás no tenemos conocimiento a detalle de su funcionamiento. Y para conocerlas bien, le damos la bienvenida a Cristobal Salinas con el tema bitcoins. Adelante.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about an important choice. You might have seen the movie called The Matrix. Well, in that movie, the main character Neo is faced with an important choice between two pills. One pill shows him the hard truth about the world. The other one lets him stay comfortable in an illusion. This moment in the movie represents something powerful. The idea that we all have the choice whether we want to face reality or keep living in a system that might not serve us well. That's why today I want to offer you a third option, the orange pill. This isn't science fiction, this is real. The orange pill represents Bitcoin and understanding what it really is. This isn't just about money or technology, it's about freedom, truth, and taking back control over your life and future. Now, let's learn a little bit about how Bitcoin works. Bitcoin is a digital form of money, but unlike regular money, it isn't controlled by any bank or government. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. That's maximum. It's written into Bitcoin's code, and it cannot be changed. That fixed supply is what makes Bitcoin so powerful. It's like digital gold, but better. When something is scarce and people want it, it becomes more valuable. That's how markets work. But let me give you an example. Think about something limited and desirable, like a beachfront property in a popular city. There's only so much of it. And as more people want it, the value goes up. Bitcoin works in a similar way. As demand increases and supply stays fixed, the price tends to rise over time. This is the opposite to fiat money, which loses value the more it's created. Bitcoin is built to do the opposite, to become more valuable over time, not less. This gives people a tool to protect their savings. Instead of watching their money melt away slowly through inflation, they can store it in something that's designed to stay strong. But let's talk about what makes something good money. Throughout history, different things have been used as money. Gold, silver, shells, even paper. But not everything works as well as money. For something to be considered good money, it must have certain key properties. Number one, scarcity. Money needs to be limited. If you can make more of it easily, it loses its value. This is where most currencies fail. Central banks can print endless amounts of dollars, euros, or pesos, but Bitcoin has a fixed supply. Only 21 million will ever exist. No one can create more. And that scarcity makes it so strong. Second, durability. Good money must last over time. It shouldn't rot, break, or disappear. Bitcoin isn't physical, but it's stored in a digital form that can last forever if handled correctly. Unlike paper money, which wears out, or coins that can be lost, Bitcoin is safe in a digital wallet. Third, divisibility. You should be able to divide money into smaller parts for everyday use. A gold bar can't be split in half for a small purchase, but Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million smaller units called satoshis. This makes it useful for everything from large investments to microtransactions. Fourth, portability. Money needs to be easy to carry and move. A suitcase full of cash is heavy. Transferring gold is slow and expensive. But with Bitcoin, you can send millions of dollars around the world instantly just using your phone. No banks and no borders. And fifth, acceptability. Good money must be accepted by others. More and more people are starting to notice the real power of Bitcoin. It's not everywhere yet, but adoption is growing fast. And that means Bitcoin's usefulness keeps expanding. Now, let's break down how Bitcoin actually works. Bitcoin runs on a system called the blockchain. You can think of it as a digital record book that's open for everyone to see. When someone sends or receives Bitcoin, it gets recorded permanently in this public book. This record is not stored in one place. It's kept on thousands of computers all around the world, called miners and nodes. And they work together to confirm transactions and make sure everything works accurately. This process is what makes Bitcoin decentralized. That means no single person, company, or government controls it. That's a big deal. We're used to systems where someone at the top can change the rules overnight. With Bitcoin, the rules are fixed. No one can cheat, no one can create more coins, and everyone plays by the same rules. Because the blockchain is public, anyone can check it. You don't need to trust a bank or a company or even another person. You can verify every transaction yourself. That makes Bitcoin trustless, not because you cannot trust it, but because you don't need to trust anyone to use it. That kind of system is new and it's revolutionary. Now, let's talk about why Bitcoin matters globally. Right now, over 1 billion people don't have access to banks. They can't save money safely. They cannot send money to their family in other countries. They cannot build wealth. But many of them have phones. And that's all they need to use Bitcoin. With just a phone and some internet access, anyone in the world can store value, send money, and receive payments without permission from anyone. Bitcoin helps people in countries where currencies collapse, inflation is out of control, or the government freezes other people's money for political reasons. Bitcoin, in places like Argentina, Venezuela, Turkey, and Nigeria, people are already using Bitcoin as a way to survive, to protect their savings, and keep doing business. It's not just a theory, it's already happening. But if we compare Bitcoin to traditional investments, over the past decade, Bitcoin has outperformed every other major investment, asset, stock, real estate, gold, bonds. In fact, since 2010, Bitcoin has delivered returns over 100,000%, far more than any other investment class. Yes, the price of Bitcoin goes up and down in the short term, that's true, but over the long term, it has consistently grown in value. And that's because of the core idea behind Bitcoin hasn't changed. A limited supply, increasing demand, and a system that cannot be corrupted. Investors around the world are starting to notice. That's why big companies and hedge funds are buying Bitcoin. That's why financial platforms are adding Bitcoin to their offerings. Bitcoin is becoming more than just an investment. It's becoming a standard. So if we return to the idea of choice, you can stay in a system that you've always known, the one where your savings loses value, the one where other people control your money, the one where the rules can change overnight, or you can choose a different path. Bitcoin offers a system where you own your own money, where the rules are fair, and where everyone plays by the same rules. This is the orange pill. It's not always easy to understand, but once you see it, you cannot unsee it. When you begin to notice all the ways the old system works against you, and all the ways Bitcoin gives you your power back, so I invite you to keep learning. Start small, ask questions, explore with an open mind. You don't need to change everything today, but at least you now have a choice. And that's where freedom begins. Thank you.